personal. I just hate him. I don't hate him. He's just bad. I don't hate him. Just a bad quarterback. He sucks. Okay. I think we're good to go.
All right. You've got to check out this video, if you haven't
But the
already.
Jordan Poole thing?
Yeah, the Jordan Poole thing. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
It's very
Actually, like
appropriate.
that, I know that it was especially it was when he first was starting the segment. So Shaq heavily relied on JaVale McGee,
Right?
and it was total bullshit, and McGee didn't deserve that. So, Shaq had to lay off because McGee was like, enough is enough," and everybody was like, "Enough is enough. This is fucked up." Jordan Poole deserves to get the same shit that JaVale McGee got, that JaVale McGee did not deserve. Jordan Poole deserves to get it.
Man.
That has got to be one of the biggest, like, most pure Shaq and a Fool moments in the entire history of the NBA, going as far back as you can think of. He actually slipped in his own sweat from a flop a few seconds previous.
Absolutely
Unreal.
glorious.
Like it's not every day that you see that kind of retardation, and you've got to acknowledge it when it comes.
That's the truth. Okay. Let's see here.
Anyway,
So, how are you doing?
Your witch's ass is gonna have to get wet. Jump!
I'm doing all right. I
What
have
now?
seen some god awful takes today,
Water's
to the
cold
point
as
where I'm
hell.
sitting there
Come
like
on, Witcher.
I know that in large part it's a hobby.
Come on
Like,
already.
this isn't your livelihood,
Any
but I
news from your
still
secret
could
informant?
not imagine doing
Report's
what you
blocked.
do
Some
with your
merchants have
YouTube
been going
channel.
for months.
What about
'Cause
roads through the
it's
forest?
just
Yorveth rules the forest.
people are so trapped in the moment. They're such prisoners of the moment that
Right.
trying to talk sports with them is so difficult and gets to be so aggravating that it stops being fun, which is the entire point. Because like I've seen some awful takes today, and like
Can we go?
largely I'm just fucking with them. I still find it hilarious. Washer was like, "Yeah, the Bills are my dark horse pick to win a Super Bowl." I'm like, "Do you
Come
even know what
on.
the fuck that word means?" Like, it's still up in the air whether or not they make the playoffs.
Let's move!
Calm the fuck down. Especially since this is a Cowboys team that everyone is spending the whole season calling frauds up until they beat the
Where are
Eagles
we?
last week.
In a forest?
Very funny.
They blew their
But
Where's it
load.
it's
going to?
right.
Yorveth, maybe?
But it's
I know
not
more
just
about the
him.
Clontar Valley than you think. For instance, I know
There have been a
Folgers
lot
has
of
smelled
people
this
like,
land through death
maybe
and
we've been a little too
I
hasty. I
believe you
think
had a
Josh
hand in that.
Allen should be in the MVP consideration. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like,
Hear that? I smell an elf.
Jesus Christ. Like, it was either 2 or 3 weeks ago that people were roasting this guy for leading the league in interceptions for the third straight season.
Now, one thing I sometimes say, and what I'm about to say sounds kind of mean or dismissive, but I mean it with no disrespect. Some people don't need to try to understand the sport. They just need to watch it and be entertained by it.
That's
Yeah,
Vernon
I
Roach,
completely agree with that
Special
take.
Forces
Because I'm like,
commander for the
you
last
guys
4 years,
are really missing
servant
the
of the
point.
Temerian king,
Um,
responsible for the
of enjoying
pacification of
sport
the Mahakaman
and
foothills,
especially
hunter
getting
of
trapped,
elves,
being prisoners of the
murderer
moment. It's
of
like, hey,
women and
that's fine and
children.
everything, is that
Twice
you're
decorated
so
for valor
excited
on
by
the
what you're
field of
seeing
battle.
and you just
Jorvin,
want to share
a
that with
regular
people. That's
son of a
fine.
whore.
But
I've long awaited
calm
our
down.
meeting.
Like,
Laid plans, set traps, and
or
now you
maybe
appear
consider
in my
other
forest
things.
of your own volition.
Like,
You aided the man who slew my
good
king.
lord.
King or beggar,
I mean,
what's
obviously,
the
yeah.
difference?
The
One
Bills
to
kicked the
one
Cowboys'
less.
ass. That's great for them. The Cowboys looked like shit. That was one of the sloppiest games any team has played the entire season, and their defense is also heavily injured.
Get his attention.
So
I need to focus.
I'm not going to look at
I'll
that
try.
game and think, you know
Lie
what?
down and
I
we'll
think the
finish
Bills
this.
have a real
I
shot at
await.
winning the championship this
Ha!
year.
You're a man
Like,
without
what the
honor,
fuck?
Vernon Roach. An insect I'll not duel, but one that I will crush.
Seems like you spout the same old elven drivel.
What you mean, Witcher?
I've seen your kind before. Proud and shay, sneaking
Aaron
around
Rodgers
forests,
returning for the
helpless,
playoff run
yet
meme
masking that
is
with
officially
acts of
dead
increasing
now.
cruelty.
With the
I
Jets
helped
lost
kill
today, they
Roach's
are
king. You call that
eliminated from
helpless?
playoff
Or would you call
completely.
me a terrorist? No one will grant us our
And
freedom,
are
Witcher.
currently
We
the
must win it for
15th seed in the
ourselves.
AFC.
You're
You'll love
just
to see
another
it.
old elf in a young elf's skin, using clever words to mask an obvious truth.
Obvious, you say?
This is not about race or freedom, or even vengeance. You're here because someone powerful told you to be.
And now the
Someone who's
AFC
using
South is a car crash.
They may wear a crown, carry
That's
a
gonna be
magic
very
wand, or
interesting.
even lead a guild. But be sure of this. It's not
Yeah,
about
I
freedom
said it
or
earlier,
rights
and I really
or
do mean
your
this.
ears.
I
Nilfgaard
hate
plowed you once. Now someone new does.
icing the kicker
Am
as
I
a
wrong?
concept so much.
Those
Anytime
times are
I
gone.
see it, I just get
No one will ever
furious.
use the square
Because
town
it
again.
never works.
Who are you
And all it
addressing?
does is just waste
Me?
time.
Yourself? Or the archers in those shrubs?
And at the end of the game,
Triss,
when the
now.
Titans are playing for nothing, they have nothing on the line. They lost Levis for the remainder of the season, probably a good chunk of next season if that really was a leg break as bad as they're saying.
Yeah,
And,
I think it's a high ankle sprain, so he'll be back for
That'll
next year.
discourage them.
well, let's
Triss,
hope,
are
because,
you alright?
you don't want to see the guy's career get completely derailed. But,
You should have charmed the archers. They're coming.
when they'd already lost him, the season's been over for a while. So
Garrett,
now they're just
the spell's
having
still working.
Will
Stay close.
Levis's coming out party. They're trying to upset teams like they did with the
Triss'
Dolphins
spence,
last
no
week,
butterflies.
and like they were trying to
Let's get
do
the
with the
fuck out of
Texans
here.
this week. I was like, hey, you lost Levis though, so you're playing for nothing. There's nothing at stake here. Just fucking let whatever happens happen. If the Texans miss and you get a tie, lovely, because you help
to the boat.
spoil their wild
There's
card
even more
run.
than that way. We must fight our way toward
If the
Foxton.
Texans hit the field goal and you lose,
Get your hands off
lovely.
my ass.
Who the fuck cares? You're a rebuilding team. You did your best. You lost your star.
I'm a
It,
woman.
it happened.
Noticed.
But like,
I'm really sick.
they used 2 timeouts and wasted so much time
Least I'll
to
die
ice the
holding a
kicker.
lovely ass.
Not
For what?
mine.
When I saw that shit, I was like, you know what?
Come on, let's go.
You fucking deserve to have what happened to Levis happen.
Yeah,
Anytime people
yeah.
ice the kicker, I'm
it's
like, I hope your
Artest
star
should have
player.
swung harder.
Exactly.
What's
And
happening?
Fucking
All I see
icing
are
the
your
kicker is
boots.
as bad as
the
the
hell
most
is that
egregious
training
flop.
post?
Like it's so stupid. It never does anything. It's utterly worthless. Just stop. Like, man, it extended the length of the broadcast another 15 fucking minutes, and there were 2 seconds left in the game. Like, why are you doing this? completely pointless.
Right. Okay, I forgot the controls for a second. Derrick Henry. I think we saw... Watching Derrick Henry today was like watching Shaq on the Boston Celtics.
I'm starting to think we'll make it. Wait.
And it really does not feel
Be quick!
like it was that long ago that he was unstoppable.
Oh, it wasn't.
Kill them
And it's
now.
just sad how quickly running backs just go. Like Christian McCaffrey might be this washed in like 2 years. Like,
Probably, especially because he always gets like 8 billion touches every season.
right. I mean, fucking running backs in the NFL have the shelf life of a bottle of milk next to a radiator.
Oh yeah. I don't know if you saw this, but I guess this has been released to the public now.
Please be something hilarious.
It's not. It's
Oh.
not. It's actually something pretty sad,
Attack it!
but important.
Alarm! Squirrels! There's a mage among them! Ready yourself!
Oh. Oh yeah, that's really sad. Just seeing the name on the report says John Doe later identified as Kobe.
Yeah.
Man. Means like his body was so fucked up they couldn't even tell at first.
Yeah. It says in there that his body was measured at about
You know each
65
other?
inches
Rather
long
well.
when they found him,
But he has
Oh,
amnesia.
no.
I actually took the Witcher by surprise.
Whereas
when
he's
I killed
78.
Foltest.
in life.
Fear not, Elf. I know Geralt.
For those of
I
you
know
that
his
can't
weakness.
quickly do the math, that he got shortened down to 5'5". It's over for Kobe cells.
Mhm.
Too many spells at once. You can die from that.
See that?
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Kingslayer and Yorvith.
You all in one piece?
Well,
Who are you?
I'm a witcher.
Jesus.
Emir var Emrys, spice merchant.
A trade?
That's
In spices.
something that's, you know,
Uh-huh. And the woman?
decent at least.
My
Is,
God, man, we barely escaped death.
from the
Be so
sounds
kind as
of
to
it,
tell
it
us
was
where we might get
pretty
some
much
rest.
instantaneous.
We'll explain everything later.
And what's
Had to
even
have been.
better,
Head for the
yeah,
market
what's
square.
even better
We've got
in
to be in
terms
time
of
for the
like finding it
execution.
comforting
Some
is
ne'er-do-wells
that
are going to hang. A dwarf
there was
and
so
some
much
guard.
fog is why the
There's
crash
also an inn and a
happened
brothel.
that
Oh yeah, the brothel
nobody
sounds
could
especially
see
interesting.
anything at all.
Take care
is
now.
why the crash happened.
Right.
So no one thought that there was anything wrong. They couldn't have. There was no moment of panic. There was no moment of fear. There was no moment of nothing. It's just you're there one moment, gone the next. So at least there was no possibility for any kind of suffering whatsoever.
Yeah. It'd be like if you fell asleep on board the submarine. What was the name of the company? The Quest
Ocean Gate.
Ocean Gate submarine, and had no idea they were having issues, and then it just collapses on you instantly.
I see you at the hanging, friend.
Or like Matthew Perry, who,
A bunch of non-humans and a spy.
you know, he went from,
Hurry up, good folk, or you'll
they
miss
found there was
us.
ketamine in his system.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he fell off the wagon, but all he did was literally, because ketamine's horse tranquilizers, literally tranquilized himself, passed out in his hot tub. And I mean, that's a hell of a relaxing way to go, passing out in your hot tub. He's not conscious at all for the drowning part, so
Zoltan. Dandelion.
that's nice at
My
least.
informer.
I wonder
Just great.
what
What's the
horse
plan?
tranquilizers feel like. How can
We
that feel
improvise.
good?
No killing.
We'll
Like,
take care
Degenerates.
of
that sounds
And yet,
very
no,
unpleasant.
Geralt!
I completely agree with you. I'm like,
Over
why?
here! Help!
Why?
Are you just in pain? And the horse tranquilizers take away the pain? Hey, JS, what's up?
Dog catcher.
Step back, white one.
That guy just called me White One.
Stand aside. I know those two, and I won't let them hang.
piss on who you know. The law says they're to hang. Carry on and you'll join them.
What are they going to hang for? They don't look dangerous.
The charge is collusion with the Scoia'tael.
Dandelion, an elven spy?
The bard's hanging for debauchery.
What?
The sentence was he's to hang for debauchery.
And a sentence is nothing to scoff at!
Are you serious? Listen here, people. Is profligacy now a punishable offense in the free kingdom of Temeria, or are we in Nilfgaard?
Piss off, freak! Or you'll have me to deal with. Think of the common folk, you're spoiling their fun.
Well, a freak he may be, but he speaks true. Debauchery's one of my favourite pastimes, but I don't want a noose placed around my neck for pursuing
Right,
it.
guy, are you sure this
Soldier
ER
boys
wasn't
paid
a
us visit or
veterinarian?
two, though we
Like,
didn't
what
have
the
much
hell?
fun.
Away with you, Margot! Go back to your brothel.
Time to go? Fine. But hear this, people. He sure liked to parade about, but his Willie wouldn't come to attention. Ha!
Stop the execution.
Shut your trap. The singer's to hang and he will hang.
Oh!
This is a decent town. Whores and witches notwithstanding.
Watch your words, guardsman! I don't know witches, but Margot's a decent woman!
Shut it, all of you!
Jesus.
Or I'll not vouch
Right.
for what I'll do.
That is not
Thinks
something I
he's
wanted
tough,
to read about.
showing off his balls.
Which one?
Don't fret, people. I've seen the lot of them.
In the autopsy description,
I'm warning you for the last time, Margot!
they mention his
You're no
genitals.
lady!
Careful, Witcher!
Want to squirm with the others?
Apparently, they did not have a happy experience. Good lord.
They'll hang anyway. Look here out!
Well, again, it was instantaneous, so yeah, but well,
They'll hang anyway. Look here out! Assaulted an officer! Come on up! Got room for one more deviant?
I was given ketamine in the ER once. Why?
What the hell is going on here?
I said, what the arse fuck is going on? I'd like to report. Out of my sight, Clover. A few ploughing bandits and you can't even hang them. And you, stay calm, hands off your sword.
Our scaffold embraces speeches and hangings. Which will it be?
Your people started it. Short fuses, some of them.
What do I care? They started, but you finished.
I had to defend my friends. Will you release them?
Terrible choice of friends, Witcher. I'd rather give you a thief. Relax. I'm joking. I hate thieves. We can put on another show. Bloody and serious this time, mind you. Or we can come to an understanding.
Meaning?
Give me a minute, Witcher.
I mean, it still, to me,
Listen
kind
here.
of doesn't feel like Kobe's
You may have
dead,
heard
because
rumors of the tragic
Kobe being
events
dead doesn't
that
affect my life in the
transpired during the
slightest.
siege
But
of
when I think
Lavenet
about it, it
Castle.
becomes really weird.
Sadly, they are true. King Foltest is
I
dead.
know exactly what you mean.
It's
That's the
likely
same way
the
I feel too. It's
Scoia'tael
like
had a hand in this
it's
heinous
fucking
murder.
wild, especially reading
you
all this
see,
shit about it. It's like,
None
goddamn.
of you can feel
Like
safe.
I can envision the guy so clearly
That is
in my
why
head
today, wagons
because of
with
how many
armaments
times
will
I've
roll
seen
out
this
into
dude
Flotsam streets.
on TV,
I hereby
playing games,
declare a
in
state of
television, in
emergency.
movies,
Await
in
orders.
memes,
Prepare to fight.
and then
And
read
ready
this
yourselves
report
to
and
avenge your fallen king.
Now disperse.
Yeah, this
Go
is
to
the
your
condition we
homes.
found the body in. It's like, holy fuck. Hard to think about the guy that way.
Nice speech.
And
Might as well have set out
also,
like
it
the
makes a lot
non-human
more
sleuth film
sense.
test.
Because I mean,
My
like, it
subjects
already
know
made
exactly
plenty
who
of
the
sense as it
enemy is.
was in
Out in
terms
that
of how
forest,
pissed off
grow
Vanessa
careless
was
for a
and that she was
moment,
suing
and you're a
everybody
dead
left,
man.
right, and center.
Whereas the non-humans here in town are
After
all
the whole thing
friendly.
happened, because
Friendlier than the merciless
it was
bastards
coming
out
out
there.
that
We let the
the people
Scoia'tael
were
inside,
taking a bunch
and
of
they'll skin
pictures
us
and
alive
shit, and
just before they
they were
slit
just
our
being
throats.
extremely
Even the slightest sense of safety is no
behaving
use.
in ways
We'll
that
not
if it
succumb
had
to
been
it for
your
a
family,
moment.
you'd want to beat
What
these
about
people to
them?
death.
They'll
So like,
not
I
hang
can't
for
blame her
now.
at all just off of that.
Let's say
But then
I'm
reading this, it's all like,
reconsidering
well,
their
yeah, I
cases.
mean, in that kind
The
of fucking
scaffold's no
condition,
place
I
for
mean,
civil
that's just Kobe
conversation.
himself. God
We'll
only
talk at my
knows,
home.
the
Your friends are free for
conditions
the time being. Not
the
to
other
leave town.
people's bodies
Come
were
after
in.
dusk. I'll be busy till then.
And that's fucking horrific
more
enough
thing.
as it is, because like even
Welcome
though
to
they say
Flotsam, Witcher.
they use DNA evidence to identify the body as being Kobe, typically as part of the
They were really
procedure,
going
they
to hang us.
still have someone who
I don't
knew
know.
the deceased
I
show
didn't
up
mean
at
to
the
torch that
morgue to
watchtower.
identify the
Everything's all
body.
right, Dandelion.
Right.
So like
Let's get out of
Vanessa
here.
probably
Oh,
saw
we
him like that.
We owe you.
And the way this
Geralt.
is described, it's
Thank you.
fucking horrifying.
Time to
Like
the
that's got to
tavern.
be an
Now
insanely
on,
traumatic
Dandelion, you need
experience
a
for
stiff
her.
drink. And while we're at it,
Um,
I'll tell you an edifying
And
tale
then
of
having
local
people taking
hypocrisy
pictures of
conceals
that,
lechery
and
from
oh
the
yeah,
deal
I
of
was
good
there.
faith.
I was
Except
on the
nothing
crew that found
behind the
Kobe's body.
stench.
Like fuck that shit, dude.
A notice board. Might find something interesting here.
Super messed up.
Did you get to the part where they described the tattoo he has on his arm?
I glazed over it. Yeah. Because you know what degloving is, right?
Everything
No.
all right at the household?
Okay. Well, a horrifying experience, but basically, degloving. Don't Google it.
Didn't disappoint me.
It's
It was a long voyage to this cesspit. About to make
typically
sense.
referred to, and is where the term comes from, is when it happens to the hand,
How are you?
where the skin comes
Happy
off
and
of the
healthy.
hand like a
can't
glove.
complain.
It basically refers
I
to
am
any
delighted,
situation where the
really.
skin has just come
But you
off.
see, it's a long way back to Vasima, and I'd rather
Right.
not do
So yeah,
Just
they
another time.
as I'm reading
No
the
reason to
stuff,
waste
and
any
they're
more talking
they
then.
they just mention
Bon
his
voyage.
dick,
Listen, Jester.
and they
You're
say
worth more to me alive, but if need be, I will take you back as
the
a
penis is
corpse.
identified and is
You
circumcised,
choose.
but shows traumatic degloving.
Give it
And
a
I'm like,
shot.
ugh,
Drop your
Fucking-
sword and put your
Right.
hands together, or I'll not vouch for what.
that is horrifying.
Shut up. Go ahead.
All right,
Try to
so
kill
something
me.
about the tattoo you said.
We've got a
If you look at the
Partial-
the very rough diagram they drew of the body, you'll see it there too, I think.
Oh, they drew a diagram? I didn't fucking see that part.
There's-
I'll check.
Yeah, if you scroll through it, there's this one part where they have like a generic body outline, and then they basically
Fuck.
draw the damage the best they can.
Jesus Christ, that's awful.
Hit the freak!
No need to fear those witches' tricks. I've got a turtle stone.
There's no way they put that in the report. That is no possible way that could even be slightly relevant to anything. Why would they put that in the report? It's talking about the different organ systems, and in the gastrointestinal system it says soft green stool is noted in the colon. What? What possible fucking...
Well, that's going to be the thing that, you know, cracks the case wide open when they realize this was foul play.
You know who uses green colors as the Celtics? Obviously, this is the work of Paul Pierce.
Jesus.
Don't know that I've the strength to
Jesus
work today.
Christ.
May the gods preserve you.
I guess it's one of those things that is technically true,
Regards.
but also completely useless.
And that's why I brought it up. I was like, what possible relevance could that have? Like, of course they found poop in the colon. Like they just Jesus. Ugh.
Man. Yeah, David, I actually was following that on my phone. I didn't watch it because I didn't care to. But I was, How would Kobe have yellow or purple shit in his colon when he died? He would have had to have been, like, doing an LA Beast eating challenge of some kind. Like, 2 hours
Right.
before getting on the... Like, that doesn't even make sense.
Well, I mean, actually, it does make perfect sense. Kobe, in a show of team spirit to get ready for the game, ate a bunch of golden purple Play-Doh.
Jesus.
Good Lord.
Greetings.
Play-Doh tastes like Poseidon's salty butthole.
Pretty much.
I wouldn't sleep with you for all the gold in Temeria.
Supposedly. Okay, is there like a library around here somewhere or something? What team has the most talent? It's probably Michigan. Wait a minute. Why? Oh, that's... I see. So we need to go east and then a little bit south. Ah, I see what's going on here. There you go. You know, wasn't there that one game when Kobe had diarrhea and played through it? Maybe
Yeah.
that's why the autopsy had to monitor that. Maybe that's what he was planning to do when he got to his daughter's basketball game. Coach while having diarrhea.
Exactly.
To
You
try to
know,
like...
the show of team spirit to eat the Play-Doh first is so that you could shit it out during the game. That's the halftime entertainment.
Jesus.
Oh, Kobe goes out on the on the court, drops his pants.
That's the spirit.
Careful.
Jesus Christ. Man, you want to think about somebody who's like receiving a ton of shit in the afterlife, though. Think about the pilot who fucking got Kobe and all those people killed.
Yeah. God, that's sad.
Yes.
He was just trying to do his job really well.
Thank you, Master. Drives me mad. This cursed wood is full of scum, and that
Yep,
horse
Kyle
has lost his
McCord
mind.
going to
Who might that
Syracuse.
be?
That's
The
really
troll.
weird to me.
For years, he's been collecting tolls at the bridge, for which he's to keep the bridge tidy and drive away the scum.
What's the problem then?
Merchants from the port
Joker, let me
sent
ask
me
you
to
a
find
question.
out the what and why, seeing as this is the only path out to the port inland.
Right.
Is
But
the
I found
Tommy
bridge in ruins,
DeVito
and that
show
cheeky cocksucker asked for
finally
liquor
over?
to let me pass.
I mean,
Across that pile of rubble,
it's still
I says,
fun,
and he
but
smacks me so
the
hard I see
honeymoon's over.
stars.
The Ritos put a price on his head.
If
I mean, like, I don't know. I don't think he played bad today. I think the team is just bad, and eventually this was going to happen.
But a sober one. If you're looking to make some coin, hold off on killing the troll and see the village chief instead.
Oh yeah,
He'll
so
tell you
I don't
all
know
you
if
need to know.
JS is in the chat right now, but he wanted to know what you thought about the Lakers losing to the Spurs the other night.
Two bad teams and you. No, in all seriousness, the Lakers should genuinely feel humiliated because the Spurs are one of the worst teams that we've ever seen because they're busy fighting the fucking Pistons for worst record in the league right now, while the Pistons are trying to chase history for the most losses in a row ever. Oh, never mind. They already got it. Yeah, Pistons now 23 losses in a row.
Did you see that?
Most ever. Goddamn. Oh, wait,
Excellent work.
no.
In it. The finest hides and the
That thing
tannins
was
on half by either.
balls.
A straggler
The
here,
Pistons
a
are still
lobber there,
chasing it. The
sometimes a
record,
hapless calf. I've
they're
even got
very
otter
close
fur
to
for you.
beating because they're at
You hunt?
23 losses right
We
now.
must not hunt in the royal forest.
The record
Even children know that.
is the
Besides,
2011
it's too dangerous
Cavaliers,
to go
the
among the
season
trees
after
now,
LeBron
with
left,
all those monsters.
when they ended
You
up
must be finding
getting
more food in the area.
Kyrie
The
Irving.
war's
Funnily enough,
boiled, methinks.
they didn't get
Not
Kyrie from
necessarily.
how bad their
The
pick
Scoia'tael attack
was.
merchants and ambush patrols. Ideal conditions for necrophages.
We ought to wait for better time.
The Clippers.
See ya.
Oh yeah, the Baron Davis trade. I remember that.
Right. That pick was unprotected and somehow became the first pick. They used that for Kyrie. But
Hello?
that season, and it was hilarious because the streak started a couple days before Christmas, and I want to say that the Christmas game was LeBron's return to Cleveland because like fucking everyone wanted to watch that. And then they got fucking killed.
Maintain the bridge when he's gone.
Hire some people.
And it was like the city was so defeated spiritually after that happened that the whole fucking thing just went into the toilet. And they finished with 26 losses in a row.
If you could help him stop boozing.
Now the quote unquote longest streak is the
200.
very recent Sixers during the Hinkie years. But it has an asterisk there because it spans 2 seasons. So it has to be a streak that, if you're looking at it of just being in a single season, the Cavs have that at 26. But the longest is in 2015, the Sixers ended on a 10-game losing streak, and then they started in 2016 on an 18-game losing streak. 28 consecutive losses.
Yeah. Somebody in the chat the other day said that the Pistons and I think the Spurs play each other the last game of the season. That could be an all-timer.
For sure. That could be one of the worst things ever seen by humans. Yeah, because like including the Spurs beating the Lakers the other day, the Spurs are 4-21, and the Pistons, trying to have the longest losing streak in the history of professional sports. Like Washington Generals here, consistent losing, are just 2 fucking wins back at 2-24, and that's with the recent win. So yeah. The Lakers should be absolutely humiliated. I never thought I would say this, but the Lakers genuinely blew their wad just to win that fucking meaningless tournament. And they're going back to earth now because, you know, LeBron just like that was his last gasp, I guess.
Yeah.
And it makes sense because they hoisted a fucking trophy for the in-season tournament. They had champagne with the goggles and spraying it in the locker room after the game. And they've been talking about raising a banner. And it's hilarious because Charles Barkley was talking about it. And he said what everyone's thinking, which is, if they raise a fucking banner for this in-season tournament, I'm going to roast the shit out of them the next time we have a show after they do that. Of course, the comments are filled with bronzexuals being like, Charles has never raised anything in his life. And it's all like, are you people actually trying to justify the in-season tournament being some amazing thing? So what happens when the Lakers, you know, it's impossible not to make the playoffs at this point because, like, everybody gets to participate thanks to the play-in tournament. But, like, as soon as the Lakers, whether it's the play-in or the actual playoffs, like, they're going to get raped at some point. And once that happens, who the fuck's even going to remember the in-season tournament?
Yeah, I almost want to buy some Lakers in-season championship memorabilia because I feel like it's going to be worth a lot one day because it's going to be such an obscure thing that, like, what the fuck was the in-season tournament that, you know, like in 50 years people will be like, no one will remember that there was an in-season tournament.
Exactly. It's going to be like one of those rare collectibles because it was a misprint or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, this quarter's the hardest one in the world to find because it was minted by a disgruntled worker who decided to put Benito Mussolini on the face of the quarter instead of, like, Jesus.
The funny thing is, AD did not play when they played the Spurs, so they're load managing him after he exerted all his life force to win this in-season tournament.
Which is hilarious because like a couple days previously when that fucking tournament was ongoing, it was actually the game like right before that. I think. Let me check. I need to look at their actual schedule, the way this went. Yeah, it was a game 2 days previously before they lost to the Spurs. They beat the Spurs. And in that game, Anthony Davis just absolutely dominated Wembanyama. So of course, like all the highlights are just, oh my God, look, Anthony Davis being the guy we all hoped he'd be, and it's all like because he's abusing a fucking lanky European twat. Like seriously. Ugh.
I feel like
You do the most pedestrian shit in the world, but as long as you're doing it against the Spurs, you're all anyone will talk about for the next day. Yeah, the Lakers are definitely garbage. Yeah, and the Lakers are the fucking 8th seed right now. If it weren't for the in-season tournament, if it weren't for the play-in, and the playoffs started today, they would barely make the playoffs. But funnily enough, they would still win in the first round because the Timberwolves are one of the biggest fraudulent, quote-unquote, 1 seeds we've ever seen. Like, this is the definition of early season shenanigans. There's no fucking way that the Timberwolves are actually the top team in the league.
don't they still have Gobert too? Like they didn't even break up that pairing of Gobert and Towns that obviously didn't work last year. It's very random.
Right. Right. Like their fucking roster is still the exact same train wreck that it was last year. The one singular fucking thing that, got going for him is that Anthony Edwards has taken a huge leap forward and has utterly usurped Karl Anthony Towns in terms of just being, their team. Which makes sense, because, like, when Jimmy Butler was there for this tiny period of time, he instantly became Batman. And left because, for whatever reason, they were like, well, Karl Anthony Towns is our guy. Jimmy Butler, I don't think he can be the guy for us. So he's all like, no, I am better than this entire team combined. You need to pay me. And they didn't believe him, so that's when he had the legendary practice moment where he just fucking soloed the entire Timberwolves starting lineup. Ugh. Yeah, now that they actually have a star player for the first time since Kevin Garnett, they're actually winning a decent amount of games. But yeah, this roster is still a complete train wreck. For the moment Anthony Edwards gets hurt, which will inevitably happen, they're going to be coming for that Pistons losing streak.
Oh, did you see that YouTube short I sent you? That woman who brought concert tickets to see Drake?
Oh yeah, that would. Oh man, there's a lot of people like that in the world, and it's funny because people focus a lot on the guys that are like that, who are complete lunatics. But there's plenty of broads out there who are also lunatics, like getting into debt to wear makeup for the concert because you think Drake's gonna pick you out of the crowd.
Yeah.
That is just batshit insanity.
Yeah, that girl has been on that show 3 times now because she never gets right. And on the 3rd time, he was finally like, okay, you know what? I'm done with you.
Yeah.
He kind of figured out that she just wanted to be on his show.
Right.
And didn't actually want to get better.
It's like I'm getting lots of views out of this here, but you're wasting my time and you're giving me high blood pressure. This ain't worth it.
Be right
Good
back, guys. Give
grief.
me a few minutes.
Yeah. They lost at home by almost 40 points.
It's
What the
wild.
fuck is up with these people? Like, why? I'm telling you, man, there's two things that they won't shut up about this season that in 5 years nobody's gonna remember. The first is the in-season tournament, the second's Wembenyama. You're gonna be back in Europe and people are gonna be like, hey, remember that one guy who was supposed to be a huge deal? Whatever happened to him? I don't know. After Popovich's funeral, I just never seem to hear about that guy anymore.
Wait a minute. Why don't I have my silver sword? I just realized I don't have it. I just have my steel sword.
So, who do you think the Chargers are gonna hire to replace Bailey?
Ben Johnson.
Gee, I was gonna say Monty Williams. I was trying to sell my dad. I'm all like, trying to sell him on the idea for Hugh Jackson. I'm all like, tank commander, man. He's the best in the league. But you were talking about it in the video about what the Seahawks could end up doing because of the situation with the impending sale of the team. And you brought up Jim Tom Sula, who I love because he reminds me of Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Right.
And I was thinking about it, and I'm like, you know, Jim Tom Sula would actually be the perfect coach for the Chargers.
Yeah.
When you think about it, it's a match made in heaven because the Chargers are the football franchise equivalent of Jim Tom Sula as a coach. Just taking up space and there for, yeah, if along for the ride. Thanks for your money.
I can't believe I get to tell all the boys back home that I actually got to be an NFL head coach.
Yeah, seriously.
Can you believe they pay me for this shit?
Oh, man. We would never see another video of Justin Herbert with the giant cakes. Jesus.
For some reason, I thought Tom Sula was on the Washington coaching staff. He's in the European League of Football.
That's fantastic.
Maybe he can coach Wembayama when he flunks out of the NBA. Wembayama would be the greatest Hail Mary receiver ever for like 2 plays before he snaps, but it would be really fun.
What would be even better, you know, is that anytime he's injured, he could just double as a first down marker.
The story of the boy who cried wolf.
He could save the league a lot of money. Yeah, I'm sure Sandy remembers Jim Tom Sula because, you know, for a long time there, he was actually the best coach that the Niners had ever had.
Why 2 swords? Does he lose them often?
I don't have 2 swords. Dumb woman.
Nice day, isn't it?
Bloody hell. My heart's
Tom
almost
Sula, more like Tom Foolery. Okay. Let's go this way.
You'll betray no one else, Elvin bitch.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Commandant Dorito will explain everything.
Yeah.
Welcome.
My medallion.
In terms of just the sheer clusterfuck, though, I'd love it if the Chargers hired Harbaugh. That would be such an utter fucking catastrophe. I would love it.
Welcome, White One.
You'll betray no one else, Elvin bitch.
Why does everyone keep calling me White One? Is this like an Asian country where I'm being fetishized because I'm white? Or what?
No, it's Geralt. Geralt has a number of different names that he's referred to as, but one of his most popular ones is the White Wolf. So as a riff on that, a lot of people will refer to him as White something.
Demovan.
And
Now, if you don't mind.
I'm pretty sure Chip Kelly's name became Chip because like his parents hadn't named him yet for a number of years. They were still trying to think on something. But the kid was eating just so many lead paint chips that they were like, wait a minute, I've got the perfect name.
Youngsters screaming in
Chip
jates,
Kelly,
no man
more
will
like
do.
shit smelly.
And how do you find country life? Was it worth it?
Yeah.
Here comes the Witcher.
Still seems weird to me that a 10-3 team essentially made a DC switch this late in the
Hey,
season.
boys,
It's the type
look
of
who's
desperate move the Seahawks would make.
That tight and how...
Nice work.
Bah, so how can we...
Yeah, but fine, Pete. Because you think Christmas is in 7 days.
Take a good look at him.
Christmas Eve is in 7 days. Still 9:42. Actually, shit, that's a good point. If Christmas is in, oh fuck. Like I'm expecting the same thing to happen for me that happened on Thanksgiving, which is the days before, of, and after Thanksgiving were a complete catastrophe for dashing. Which is why I'm not a top dasher for this month, is just because of that. I'm like, probably the exact same thing's going to happen for Christmas, so I'm not looking forward to this shit.
A fine
So
mess
how's
you
it
have
going,
here.
Bill?
Commandant.
The sky will...
Okay.
Don't rat
How
out
do
the
you like
Commandant.
Flotsam?
He's a decent man and a patriot.
I don't deny that.
I think the stew's ready.
Want to play soldiers and
Quietly.
squirrels?
Artist at work.
You might want to stir it.
I don't stir. I work the material.
Larita wanted to see me.
Commandant's busy. Come back after dusk.
Yeah. Wait, how do I meditate? What? Okay, there we go. Yeah. Fortunately, I'm already basically taken care of in terms of like Christmas stuff. I'm already got what I need to get.
Larita wanted to see me.
Commandant's busy. Come back after dusk.
Yeah, Snacks tells this story sometimes about the time Kobe played with diarrhea.
Laredo wanted to
And
see
then he
me.
posted up a lot.
Commandant's busy. Come back after
Yeah.
dusk.
No, I think the story was that Kobe was like, he didn't actually have diarrhea during the game, but he had mentioned to somebody that he had diarrhea earlier in the day. And in an effort to compare Kobe to Jordan and surpassing Jordan, they were like, well, Jordan had the flu game, but Kobe today played with diarrhea. And then everyone was like, wait a minute, Kobe was just shitting himself during the game. Oh man! Then I made this one Photoshop of his iconic fucking pose in front of the crowd when he won. In 2010, he's got the ball and he's just fucking posing in front of the crowd, and then just this giant skid mark on his short.
What?
The Commandant
Ah,
wanted to see me.
fantastic.
Leave your weapon here.
Guard it with care. It's very valuable.
Wait, Wolf. I need to talk to the Commandant too.
You going inside or not?
Listen, friend. I'm an officer and you're a runt. And when I say jump, you will not only...
Come on, Roach.
With these cunts, Laredo couldn't protect the port from a drunk lumberjack, let alone Yorveth.
He's succeeded so far, Roach.
A ballista. The bastard's got a ballista. You know the power of this weapon. Its arms strengthened with bronze plates and strung with horsehair. It can propel heavy bolts up to a mile away.
Yeah, an experienced crew can release 2 bolts each minute, but it can't hit the same spot twice because it recoils and shifts. I've heard that somewhere before.
Where did you learn about ballistae?
I knew someone who knew a bit about them.
Unimportant. We need to damage it if we don't want to be at Laredo's mercy. They're all drunk here now. I'll provoke the guard.
Relax, Roach. I don't want to fight this rabble again.
As long as that weapon's operational, no one will sail this section of the Pontar without Laredo's express permission.
I'll handle this. Go have a drink.
Who was the NBA mascot who fell unconscious in his outfit while being lowered down to the arena?
Oh, I remember exactly the one that you're thinking of. It's the Denver Nuggets mascot, Rocky, the whatever the fuck he is, like a beaver or some shit. I don't know. But yeah, they were lowering him down, and this happens a lot with people when they're not doing it right. When they've got the little harness straps for that kind of stunt, because it, you know, when they're not paying attention or they're not aware that if you cut off the blood circulation in and around the arms, it makes you lose consciousness. That's why the full Nelson is a legitimate hold to put on people to restrain them. Because when you've got their arms up in that position and you cut off the blood flow, you could make them unconscious doing that. So, as they were bringing him down, you know, the DJ's going crazy. He's like, yeah, let's hear it for Rocky. And Rocky's fucking dead.
Sniffing around like dogs in a rubbish dump.
Yeah, because the Jaguars played so badly tonight. People keep posting that video of the Jaguars mascot bungee jumping down from the top of the scoreboard, and it made me think about the.
Nothing better than a fireside feast.
Did you hear?
Except a
2 big shots arrived.
Yes?
How did you plan to get rid of the guard by the ballista?
I have my ways. But you wanted to do it alone, so go talk to the buffoon.
We'll talk later.
Add flour into the mix and it doesn't get any better.
Luckily, the Commandant's provided...
No passage.
Drew, come here, lad. Your uncle's got a story for you.
So long as he can afford to tell it.
I'll not lend an ear for less than 10 orens.
That one struts about as if he were the king himself.
I don't like strangers.
Haven't had this good a time in ages.
That's true.
You know this one? A little elf was skipping down the path. Plow-more. Along came a dwarf and kicked him in the arse. Plow-more.
It is starting to feel like he's never going to put it all together. Like, he's a good quarterback. It's starting to feel like it's just never going to manifest the way.
Don't you traipse around here.
And that's because it's Jacksonville. When you have a poverty-ass franchise, you get what you get. Like,
That's true.
there's a 90% chance that Caleb's going to end up busting, not because he deserves to, but because he's going to get drafted by a team that is so dog-ass awful that there's no fucking chance.
What do you need, ugly?
That's the
Considering the right, considering the turnaround that we've seen with Geno Smith in Seattle,
Some idiot.
you know, having the time to learn from better quarterbacks, you know, other guys that
I didn't like it.
he was playing behind in other teams,
What would you have me
and just the opportunity to learn, grow experience, and finally come into a much better situation for himself. It really makes you wonder how many like amazing fucking players we've actually missed out on and never got to see what they could have been.
Yeah.
Because unbeknownst to us, they were just in a worst possible situation for themselves.
Like, I think Matt Leinart would have been pretty good if he had not landed on such a bad team.
Yeah. I want to believe that if he didn't land on such a bad team, Tom Brady may not have been a bust. What a terrible player. No, but seriously, Tua's the GOAT.
Did you see Taylor Swift today tell the referee, fuck you?
Pretty good.
Because they didn't call
Did
a
he-
flag on the guy defending Kelsey?
That's fantastic. What would have been even better is if she stormed the field to scream at the ref and then he says to her, shake it off.
And I gotta ask, have you seen the Hail Mary in the Bears game?
Was there one today?
Yes.
Then no.
Okay. Let me grab it for you.
But wait, I saw some amazing fucking Flacco vintage plays to lead the drive to end up winning the game. Was the play before then, or was it during that sequence? Because then I probably saw it.
No, the Hail Mary was literally the final play of the game.
And then no, I didn't see the catastrophe.
Okay.
Just go with your specialty.
All right, it'll be my standard rate.
Draw him away from the ballista while you're at it.
Slap me hard and call me stupid. Trying to put one by me? That'll cost you more.
How's that?
Is that an
Surcharge
issue
on
for you,
special
Scarecrow
requests. Those are the rules.
Wow.
Let me think it over. A favor
They
for a
fucking batted
There's
it
one
straight
thing
to
you can
him.
do for
That's
me.
as easy as it comes in the
Myron and
NFL.
Alphonse.
Yeah.
Two of Laredo's thugs. Give him a good thrashing.
And yeah, that would have
and
been a
I'll
win
even blow
right
him.
there.
I
Wow.
stirred up enough trouble as it is during the execution.
No need to stir trouble. Just humiliate them some ways.
Consider it done. Myron and Alphonse.
Teach them a lesson yet?
Not just yet.
You've had your song. Care for some real diversion?
I don't like freaks.
And I don't like oafish no-necks.
What do you want, mutant?
To try my luck. Arm wrestling.
I'm gonna crush you, mutant.
So, like, it's not like Justin Fields is this amazing player who's just being held back by being on a dog shit team. But if the Bears did get that first overall pick from the Panthers, and they did use it to take Caleb, I could easily see Caleb busting just because the Browns are just such a, or the Bears are just such a fucking poverty franchise that.
Oh yeah, I think a lot of
They just
people kind of
fucking
see that
pieces.
coming. Some people believe that Caleb will refuse to play for the Bears and be like, trade me or I'm gonna go play baseball or something.
Yeah, I would if that was me. If that was me, I'd be like, look,
Except a fireside feast with copious
you know,
amounts of
I don't want to sit here and pull an Eli Manning, but
Luckily, the commandant's provided it
I don't
all.
want to
What you
ruin
want?
my career by
Old
playing
man.
for one of these dog shit fucking teams.
I was
Like,
looking to test my strength. Arm wrestling.
What do I stand to gain?
Nothing, because I'll thrash you.
And if I win?
You'll have beat a Witcher, so I guess that gets you bragging rights.
Are you that Geralt fella? The Grey Wolf? All right. Let's begin.
True. Come here, lass. Your uncle's got a story for you.
So long as he can afford to tell it.
Have you guys ever seen one of those NFL players like puke on the field in the middle of a play or like right before snap? I remember a Broncos linebacker did that once back in like the mid 2000s. He just bent over and puked.
Except a fireside feast with copious amounts of liquor.
Add plough into the
Oh my
mix
God,
and it
this is
doesn't get
hard.
any better.
Luckily, the commandant's provided.
Hey! You're a
God,
lightweight,
chill, goddamn.
Grey Wolf.
True. Come here, lass. Your uncle's got a story for you.
What you want?
I was looking. Let's do this.
So long as he can afford to tell it. I'll not lend an ear for less than 10 orans.
Have you ever seen a movie called Over the Top with Sylvester Stallone?
yeah, where he played a trucker who did a bunch of arm wrestling.
Yeah, I'm doing arm wrestling in The Witcher right now.
That's true.
And it was, that movie was famous for a big soundtrack controversy or some shit.
Damn the dogs!
I'm gonna read up on
The
it right
old
now.
man got me. I need to eat. Build up a bit.
No, fuck you, mum. Plough them all.
You've had your song.
Myron and Alphonse.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. The soundtrack for Over the Top.
I'm off to give the
There were no songs that were created for the movies, which was really jarring because Sylvester Stallone had done that for the Rocky movies. So people were like, well, why didn't he do it for this one? And then it got even crazier because the songs had really nothing to do with the subject material of the movie at all. They literally just grabbed like the top 40 and just
So long as he can afford to
random selection of songs. They just tossed some shit in there.
10 orans.
Then used some old stuff from some Rocky montages and called it a day. And people are like, this is one of the laziest soundtracks we've ever seen.
Tits like that, you could conquer all.
Nothing better than a fireside feast.
Except a fireside feast with copious amounts of liquor.
Yes? Do we wait until the honorable lady is done with the venerable hick?
Waste of time. Looks like a good number of Flotsam's town.
Oh, since Seahawks David said it
We should look
about
around.
David Njoku and
see
poop,
that
that
arbalist
reminds me,
behind the
I
house?
watched this
I'll get his attention.
video
Give him
clip
something
on
to think
Twitter.
about.
It was
Why
the
don't you
security
find out what
camera
they're guarding so
footage
closely?
My
of
apologies,
a
gentlemen.
guy had been
I
caught
could not help overhearing your
shoplifting
conversation.
red-handed, so the security guards were
In point of fact, it's a
bodily
matter for the
dragging
Witcher.
him
I
out of the
have an
store. They
offer.
were going to hold him at the front of the store to wait for the police to arrive.
Interesting.
I suspect
I
you
can
did not
only
come to
assume that the
Flotsam
guy
for
was
pleasure
like
alone.
worried about that third strike or some
Do you
shit.
know about the
Because
monster
while
in the
he's
river?
getting dragged, he gets one of his arms free, reaches into his pants,
I
and
expect
it
someone
comes
will
back
hire
up.
you to deal with it
Hand is
sooner or later.
filled with crap.
Thus, I
And he
presume
fucking
Stop presuming
unironically smears it all over his face, gives himself a mud
Our
mask,
honoured host
and as
is
soon
in
as
possession
people
of part
realize
of a
what he's
trap
doing,
built
they went
especially
from
for the
dragging
beast
this guy like looking like they're taking him out to
Around
get
back,
hanged.
there's a
to, Like
storage
everyone just
area
let
where
go
Laredo
and
keeps the
fucking
treasures he
traffic
confiscates
cleared,
from
man. Like the
merchants
Red
and
Sea parted. There was
There are
nobody
heaps of
within
things out
like
there.
30 feet of the guy.
You know exactly where I need to look.
He's just home free, walking
I saw
around with his mud
Laredo's men
mask.
carrying
Like,
the contraption across the garden in a crate.
son of a
They
bitch.
placed it on a platform by the wall, beyond which
That makes
lies
me
the
think,
craftsman's
apparently, one strategy
Why are you telling me?
when you're a woman about to be
We
sexually
need to be
assaulted
rid of the beast as soon as possible.
is
Good
to
luck.
piss yourself.
I'll distract the guard.
Because
You
you'll
sneak
make
behind the
yourself
house.
unattractive to the assaulter, potentially. And that's actually something that can, like, deter them.
True. Come here, lass.
That's the
Your
hope.
uncle's got a story for you.
I mean, you know, it's better than laying back and thinking of England.
What do you want?
Shut it, soldier. Superiors will spend the rest of your life on the
Good
king's
grief.
galley.
Apologies, sir. I didn't realize.
As I see it, the entire garrison could use a lesson in discipline. Isn't that right?
Sir!
In Flotsam, we cut the hands off thieves.
I was looking for the privy.
You're lucky the Commandant wants to see you. Come on!
What do you want?
Shut it, soldier.
Like, do you remember that movie that came out, like, 10 years ago? It was called Split? M. Night Shyamalan movie? The guy with split personalities who takes those, like, 3 women hostage in his house? That's
I
one
did
thing that
not
happens
see
in
that.
that movie. One of the
I did
girls
not see
pisses
that.
herself.
But it sounds wonderful, and I want to watch it. What's it called?
Split. It has James McAvoy as a guy with like 23 different split personalities inside him. And one of them is a serial killer who kidnaps 3 women, and they have to try to like get his other personalities to help them escape or something.
Oh, I had not seen this, but I had heard of it because M. Night Shyamalan did the Unbreakable trilogy, and this was one of them.
Yes.
What do you want?
Shut it, soldier. Have respect.
That's pretty crazy. I'm watching a video right now. This is the kind of shit that people are talking about. I'm thinking. Jaguars awful end of half sequence versus Ravens. Trevor Lawrence gets an amazing fucking pass to get them like it's like first and goal on pretty much on the 5, like really close to the 5. And you know, they don't have any timeouts, and there's like about 15 seconds left. But they just got first and goal. They're in beautiful fucking position. They should at the very least be able to score. Didn't spike it. He just went into the shotgun, ran a normal play, and he passed to the outside, but the guy didn't get out of bounds, so half just ends.
Yeah, I mean, I think running a play there is actually cool because the defense is not going to be ready, but you have to throw it in the end zone.
Yeah, like there's I'm gonna slow this down to see if there was a guy in the end zone that he could have passed to and he just like panicked or some shit, but as I'm watching this I'm like, what the hell? It's like you said, it's like, yeah, you could catch the defense napping, which is, you know, how, you know, plenty of spike situations, you know, lots of people do that. But exactly like you said, you've got to take the shot. You can't just throw it outside hoping it's out of bounds. Because it was only for like 2 yards. Well, he did have a receiver in the end zone. He was covered, but he didn't let the play develop. He threw it almost instantaneously.
Yeah,
he only had eyes for the outside receiver, and He wasn't even close to out of bounds.
In Flotsam.
So I would just assume that the adrenaline's pumping and he wasn't really thinking clearly, but like, bro, in that situation with the hype behind you as a player, you gotta be thinking clearly. Fuck.
Yeah. What good are you if you can't think clearly?
Exactly.
Oh yeah, so there were several calls made this weekend of offensive offsides, which is, as we said last week, a very rare call. So it seems like in order to make the Chiefs feel better about what happened last week, they're just calling offensive offsides on everybody.
Yeah, I was saying the same thing as I was seeing a lot of offensive offside penalties getting called. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, is this to make the Chiefs feel better or something? But what's funny is that it almost had like the opposite effect. Because a lot of plays that were big plays got called back because of those offsides penalties. And no one bitched.
Yeah.
No one threw a temper tantrum. I was like, this is making Mahomes look worse.
You forget who you're dealing with, Commandant.
You must think me an idiot.
I cannot help myself. You
Oh.
take guardsmen off the streets to
Search,
guard carpets, fabrics, and spices.
Oh, okay,
offered
I'll
from
find the video,
merchants.
actually. I think I
Do
can
you
get it.
have any grasp of the responsibility that rests with you?
Don't teach an old man to piss, sorceress. I've ruled Flotsam for years.
Flotsam is ruled by a fear of Yorveth. That fear rules even you.
I've made my demands perfectly clear.
Like a crying babe deprived of its rattle. In time, Commandant, they'll hang you by the neck from a roadside tree like a regular bandit. And rightly so, for you're no better.
Your time will come too, sorceress. They'll pile kindling at your feet.
Enough. Fear has
Okay,
confused
I just
you.
sent it to you.
Think over what I said and give your answer before it's too late.
That explains why he was trending on Twitter.
He must be the worst receiver in the NFL. Like,
He has to be. I guarantee you he will not be on that roster next season. Like, he is going to get murdered pretty soon.
yeah, he was a first-round pick of the Giants, and then last year the Giants traded him to the Chiefs for a third-round pick. And now he's not even worth a seventh-round pick.
Yeah. Basically Chase Claypool.
Mm-hmm.
It's the guy who is so intensely retarded that it didn't matter he had all this athletic ability to be a first-round pick. He's just way worse on your team than off it. How the fuck can you be a professional receiver in the NFL and fuck up a catch that badly? That is literally your only job. There wasn't even a defender contesting the fucking catch.
Mm-hmm.
They were just waiting for him to catch it and then make the tackle. It fucking bounced on his head. Jesus Christ.
That's true.
Yeah.
You know this
Taylor
one?
Swift's next song is going to have a lyric about Kadarius Toney in it.
I guarantee it. Yeah, definitely. And fucking that's with the ridiculous ass gloves that they wear that let OBJ catch a ball with 3 fingers.
Didn't like him from the start.
Laredo's storing valuable gifts from the merchants.
And this fucking guy can't catch a ball that slaps him in the hands, and then he's fucking bobbling the fucking thing while no one is contesting his catch.
I overheard the Commandant talking to Sheila. I couldn't pinpoint the topic of their conversation, but it seems to me he's angling for something.
We'll see what he has to say.
You've had your song. Care for some real diversion?
Wait, I was so focused on how bad that catch was that I completely missed the guy who intercepted it, then fumbled the fucking thing.
I doubt anyone would stop you. We're too soft on them.
Oh, Jesus.
Soldiers are bored. The garrison's thinning.
Now you're talking. We don't need to look for the Scoia'tael. Cut the rebel down one by one.
Yeah, between what he did last week and then this moment here, I honestly would not be surprised if he was just outright cut.
Their
before
receivers
next
are so
I
bad
mean,
they kind
you,
of have
sir,
to keep him
cannot
as the
enter.
thing.
We've been
Like,
ordered
they have
to let him
nothing
go
at
with
Yeah.
everyone else.
I could believe that, but at the same time, you know, we were talking about Jim Tomsula earlier.
I don't want any trouble.
They could
I'll
sign
call for
him as a
support.
receiver. He'd be an improvement over
Tell
Kadarius
Laredo I got
Toney.
the message.
See you, Roach.
Jesus
So,
Christ. Yeah, just like you know, run some drills with him during practice that week. Tell him to envision the football as a meatball sub.
No passage.
I have not watched the Witcher Netflix show Scarecrow, but I heard it was good at first, and then it wasn't.
Here to see the Commandant.
We have business to discuss.
Good luck. He's in a foul mood.
Why?
We'll talk another time, and definitely elsewhere.
Finally!
They didn't want to let me in while the sorceress was here.
Did you see her? Made up like a whore on parade day. They think they can do anything, those sorceresses. I heard what happened in Temeria. You know your name's on a warrant. It's unfortunate, though nothing that should impede our dealings. See, I'm the law round here, and the law needs to know what the legendary White Wolf's doing in this cesspit.
I'm looking for the man responsible for Foltest's death.
Here?
I know the Scoia'tael had a hand in it too. It's their trail I followed to Flotsam.
Lucky you found Bernard Laredo then. If you're telling the truth, Yorveth's got raw blood on his hands. I can help you find him.
There was this tweet I saw a few weeks ago. It was like, so I'm a white woman Kansas City Chiefs fan, and I intentionally bought a Kelsey jersey so I wouldn't look like one of those basic basic bitches who just get Mahomes jerseys. And now he's fucking dating Taylor Swift. I thought that was pretty funny.
That's fantastic, yeah. So obviously what he needs to do is get a Kadarius Toney jersey. Those are going to be real limited edition in a minute.
Kadarius Toney actually set the record for longest punt return in Super Bowl history last year. So that's going to be very hard. Like, he'll always have that no matter what.
What about Vernon Roach? Why didn't you let him in?
Roach? Know the aura that surrounds him? Men like him act first and think later. And when they act,
And pretty
almost
soon he'll be in a
inevitably
Taylor Swift
innocent
song.
blood flows. I trust you're on our side.
Whose
You
side
said
is that?
you loved me,
That of
but
the
that
people
was
of
a
Flotsam,
bunch
of
of
course.
baloney.
Terrorized by
You
the
broke my
Elven
heart.
bandits
You're
for
such a
years now.
Kadarius Toney.
My enemy's enemy is my friend. We barely escaped with our lives the last time we ran into Yorveth.
Damn squirrels draw ever nearer.
What about the elves and dwarves in the trading post? The smiths, peddlers, and hunters? They eat with you, sleep among you. Whose side are they on?
Hell if I know. That's my point, Witcher. When you fight for survival, you need to be sure who your friends are. The non-humans in Flotsam, sure, they eat, fuck, shit among us. But when Yorveth sounds the battle horns, who knows what they'll do.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they haven't turned on you already.
How so?
Travis
Town
Kelsey
guards
really
treat
kind of
non-humans
looks
like
washed
shit.
up over the last
Frankly,
month
I
or
don't know
so.
what keeps them
Wonder if he
here.
retires
I'll
after
tell you
this
what,
season.
Geralt. The hunger they'd face in the forest. But I grant you, those acts of insubordination need to be stopped. Soldiers are simple men. When you see your mate die, a Scoia'tael arrow in his throat, it's hard to look favourably at the elf who sells your wife coloured kerchiefs. You're a witcher. Your job is
And
to protect the
Mahomes is
simpletons
fucked
from
next
monsters.
year if Kelsey
I
retires.
protect
He's going to
them
have
from the danger that
nothing.
lurks amongst the trees. I see where this is going. Yorvith's no better than a monster that attacks those who go out to gather kindling. Matter of fact, he's worse. He's smarter and crueler. How do we get him? I don't want you to kill him. Even you don't have a hope against his entire force. I've an idea, but I'd rather not go into it now. The squirrels are up to something. Every night their scouts come closer. I suspect they plan to attack the barge moored in the port. What do you want me to do? As long as Yorveth remains free, humans, elves, and dwarves will live alongside each other in deep distrust. I've got to learn what the pointy-eared rat is planning. How am I supposed to get that information? You underestimate me, Witcher. True, I have my prejudices, but I'm not blinded by them. Take your friend Zoltan, for instance. He contacted Yorveth. How can Zoltan help if he can't go outside the walls? Step by step, Geralt. That's how you build trust. You could start by tending to a problem we have. A beast. The Kairan has blocked all boat traffic. I'm losing tolls. That is, the trading post is losing revenue. Kill the Kairan and I'll declare your friends acquitted of their crimes. Then Zoltan can take you to see Yorveth.
I remember Rashay Caldwell.
I'm a Witcher. I don't work for free. Of course you don't. Help us capture the Scoia'tael commander, and you'll be rewarded generously. Straight from the trading post's treasury. I'll see what I can find out. Now you stir up storms wherever you go. I actually believe you'll bring peace to Flotsam. Don't disappoint this town, Geralt. Farewell.
No passage.
I watched a little bit of it today. Because apparently somebody said that Boogie actually trashed Caleb Hammer.
No.
On his on the podcast after going on Caleb's show.
Did you hear?
Which I thought was a really kind of shitty thing to do because, I mean, obviously Caleb is a demonstrative person, but he's genuinely trying to help these people. So I wanted to see what Boogie said about that, and he didn't say anything that bad. He was like, "Oh, he was it wasn't, the podcast wasn't really set up all that well. He kept trying to get me in gotcha moments with my food spending." And he was stupid enough to think I actually bought a Tesla when I didn't buy a Tesla. And it's like, okay, that's really not that bad. I mean, it's a lot better than your fucking spending habits.
It's like the definition of fucking joke's on them. I was only pretending to be retarded. Like, this is not making you look as good as you think it is, man.
Like, he lives in Arkansas, and his required budget to basically live is $7,000 a month, which is horrendous. Like, there are families of 4 out there who live in Washington State that have lower monthly budgets than that.
Yeah.
What really sucks about that show, sometimes they have somebody on who is like genuinely a pretty good, well-meaning person who is just in a shit situation. And it hurts. It feels bad. Like, there's one guy he had on who is a dispatcher, and I'm sure you know what a dispatcher is.
Right.
And he's, you know, very much a fat guy. He actually had weight loss surgery in Mexico about, you know, not too long ago. And he is broke because he just got divorced. Like, his divorce basically ruined his life. And they actually sat down and, you know, he's making good money. He's working as many hours as he can. He's working 60 hours. And Caleb's trying to come up with a budget for him. And he's just like, I don't think it's possible. I think you just have to declare bankruptcy because you're so deep in debt. I can't figure this out. It's impossible.
It's raining.
And some of the people he has on his show clearly deserve what they got, but this guy seems like a good guy who's just in a really shit situation.
It's raining back
Hey, handsome.
I will say, it is nice that in this country you do have the option to declare bankruptcy. There is actually like a nuclear option to save yourself. Better than getting your hand cut off.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Yeah, Malachi transferred. I saw that. Do we have any idea where he's transferring to?
Hey, handsome.
It's still wild to me that, like, super rich people can declare bankruptcy strategically. I wish I could do that. That'd be nice. Oh, I can buy Forspoken from Best Buy for $24.99. What do you guys think? Should I get Forspoken? Half off?
Half off. Was it now like $1?
No, it's $24.99. The audacity to expect someone to pay $50 for Forspoken.
That's a dog's life, girl.
Seriously.
I'll tell you that much.
Wait, Arch Manning? Oh, that's brutal. Arch Manning going to Georgia. Oof.
Pretend you don't see. We have seen.
That makes me want to do the Roblox oof sound effect.
The gods have not granted me understanding of it.
Oh, Malik Murphy.
Perhaps
Okay, never mind.
Providence grants you.
Alright, I won. Hulk might be a day two pick. Maybe that would be enough for him.
You are lucky, traveler. Only the gods may ordain the prize will fall to you.
Wait till he drops his fucking guard!
Look at that, Peeper. Ever heard of doing it witch and Striggett style?
No, tell me.
He downs a flat, tries to get it on, falls fast asleep, and she makes him a virgin in the morning. Remind me, which one was this Foltest they killed?
Wasn't he the one who always wanted us to call him Daddy?
No, I've seen that one today.
I dunno. Need a distraction, White One?
Oh, okay, this is the brothel. I can actually sleep with the...
I'm bored.
Okay, let's see here.
Freak.
Ooh. Okay.
Greetings.
Oh, I can't pick her.
That's over my head.
Ever heard of doing it
Jolly.
witch and Striggett style?
No, tell me.
I'll need you to pay up front.
Oh, God. That's expensive.
What do I pay taxes for?
That would have been like a third of what I owe. If I did that, I would have ended up on Caleb Hamer's show.
Punch his lights out!
Trolls beat me.
I know that plenty of people go onto a show and then they have like OnlyFans charges on their credit card statements.
Yeah.
But has anyone ever gone on a show and there's just like outright been like, oh yeah, that money's for hookers? Like,
Well, kinda, sorta Boogie, but he hasn't done that in a little while, so not quite. I'm sure there's somebody out there who did that. One time, somebody went on the show with OnlyFans and with OnlyFans charges on their credit card, and he was like, you know, not to take this show in a gross direction, but there's a lot of free stuff out there, dude. Is what he said.
Yeah.
Trolls beat me.
Triss Marigold. Lice eat me, but you
I gotta
are
say, I
cheap
think
to
Triss
behold.
is more attractive than any of the
Just a
prostitutes
little pale.
down there.
Magic takes its toll, but I'll be all right. Good to
yes.
see you in your beard again.
Can somebody tell me what happened? You set off a month ago for Zoltan's wedding.
That got fucked.
Yeah, Santi,
There will be no
like,
wedding.
did
you
you ever
hear about
watch a Scared Straight?
Rumors travel
That
faster
Boogie
than the
was
wind.
like the
Winds
prostitute's
and
version
rumors.
of
I want to know the
Scared
truth.
Straight.
I
He-
want to know
he
how
literally
Foltest died. And the dragon,
traumatized a hooker.
was there really one
into
there?
quitting.
And who rules Temeria now?
Dandelion, calm down. You'll choke on your liquor. Triss, you're the expert on Temeria. Tell us who's in charge now.
It's chaotic and getting worse. The old families are fighting for supremacy, no holds barred.
Baron Kimbleton, Count Merivale, I bet.
Among others. After the assassination, while Geralt was in the dungeon, the lords convened in a field near Lavalette Castle to choose a new ruler. 3 days they debated, and it looked more like a bazaar than a meeting of nobles. Except the trade was in court and ministry positions, spheres of influence, royal privileges.
Humans.
In spite of several duels and 2 poisonings, no king was chosen. Civil war was in the air.
Be right back, guys. Alright, I'm back.
I think I've heard enough about politics.
Oh yeah, so Snacks, I assume that you know everything that happens in the Valhalla DLC.
Foltest killed lay in wait in the tower.
Yeah, I really liked it. I really like how the relationship between Kratos and Mimir has developed from the original game to now.
After the first attempt, Foltest began treating me
Yeah.
as his lucky charm.
Really well done.
He ordered me to be at his side.
Yeah, I agree. I've enjoyed it a lot also.
The killer disguised himself as a monk.
Like, they're very clearly friends. Kratos tells him everything.
His children waited until I had walked off.
Well, I don't know if you experienced this,
Jumped out a window into the river.
because I'm not sure what the conditions are to meet it. I think it requires more than just one playthrough.
You're chasing him because he murdered
The whole Mimir
I
and
need to clear my name.
Sigrun
Besides,
storyline and everything, was there resolution of that
He's a witcher.
through your playthrough?
Then some brave Temerian soldiers
I mean,
showed up, piled on
the
me, and
last
knocked me
thing
out.
Sigrun did plot-wise was rescue me and
Save
Kratos
yourselves,
and
good
Mimir.
folk! The beast attacks!
We better
When
get out there.
we were
Someone's
falling
casting
through
spells.
Valhalla and she showed up to grab us and take us back to the beach.
Right. Okay, so you need to do like a number of playthroughs to get a lot of different themes. But basically, what happened is that after they win the fight against Odin and all that, Sigrun and Mimir, you know, they're celebrating and everything. And Sigrun's confessing her feelings to Mimir, which is like the first time that she'd ever come out and really said it. And Mimir wanted to be, you know, accepting of that and everything, but he's all like, well, sweetheart, I'm just a head.
The beast nearly pulled him
How
in
can
the
I
water
possibly
while
make you
stood
happy?
staring
I'm
like a
literally
calf
a
at the ship
disembodied
covered
head.
clover.
Watch your words.
Which was not at all what he wanted to say, but he
Ask
couldn't
her.
help himself. And then Kratos was like, oh, dude, bro, like, he knows that you're just a fucking head. Like, you should have rolled
Oh,
with it.
look here.
So,
Birds of a feather.
they talk a lot more about what
Master
Mimir
Witcher,
should do
this
about
is
the whole
foolish.
thing, and then Mimir
The
says
beast
to
near
Sigrun, he's
pulled
like,
Sozek into the
I
depths,
really
and
think
you're
that you
simply
should go on your
chatting
own
with this
spiritual
damsel.
journey to try to figure out your own place in this world and in life, because if you decide that you want to be
Sozek's
with me
alive,
still when I'm
and
just a
nowhere near the
disembodied
depths.
head,
The monster
I
vanished
want
behind
you
the
to be
trees.
absolutely
You
certain
best
that that's
take
what
us
you want in
seriously,
life,
lest
and
you
if it
vanish
is,
without
I'd be
a
happy to
trace.
be here with you as an ornament, but
All right. What happened?
I came to
so then
Flotsam
she's like,
to kill
okay,
the
yeah,
Caleb.
sure, and then like she
Caleb.
goes on a leave of
A
absence
monster
from
that
the
has
Valkyries or
effectively blocked the
anything,
port.
and she has
A moment ago, I had
a
the good fortune
goodbye
to see it
moment
in
with
all its
Freya
splendor,
and the other
but local
girls.
folk scared it away.
And seemingly that
fortune.
as they'd been
You hear
talking
that,
with some other
Sozek?
shit they were going to
That was
say
some good fortune
in the
for you.
process.
Why is the
They're
beast
bringing
in
in
the port all of a
Thrud
sudden,
as
eh?
like an apprentice
Summoned by the witch,
Valkyrie kind of a
perchance?
deal to
See it in
replace
all its splendor.
the needed manpower while Sigrun's gone
Sozek doesn't look
on
too
her
good.
own journey of
Lay him
self-discovery.
aside somewhere.
Makes sense. Lines up.
So that'll be
we've
interesting when they
dawdled
come in
enough
with the
already.
next game.
Come
Is
on,
that then
lads,
that
let's go.
yeah we'll have the
I was ready for a
resolution of
rumble
that
there.
whole
Shut it
concept.
and come on.
But a lot of people have
I
been talking
apologize
about
for
how
interrupting, but
Mimir
I am
needs to
Louis
find some
Mills,
way to get a
and I am chief
replacement
person
body
in
so
charge
he
of
can be
all
with
matters
Sigrun.
related to
And
monster
I'm all like,
hunting in
why
Felton.
would you need
It
to
is in this
waste
capacity that I must
time,
inquire if
money,
you're
and
willing to
magic on
attempt
getting
to
him a
resolve the
replacement
problem of our
body? Just
so-called
attach a
Caleb,
huge wiener and
the
you're good.
beast that now blocks all trade traffic.
Yeah, what if
on the
in the next game he
So,
is
Witcher,
literally RoboCop?
are
They
we
literally
willing?
just put his head on top of a robot
I
body.
usually work alone.
I was here first, and I'll not relinquish this contract. My way or the highway.
After the next game
as
is
the
literally
land
just
calls.
RoboCop. You just attach it to a giant robotic dick.
You must contact the
And
merchants
Mimir's
on the
like,
waterfront
oh,
as
this
regards any
fucking
rewards.
rules.
Madame de Tanseville has, I believe, already conducted some preliminary.
Who remembers when I was a
That I
tree?
have.
I do.
In
Delete the
that
file.
case, don't let me keep you.
Yeah.
Triss, how long must I wait for you to...
So,
Sheila de Tanseville,
my understanding is that
advisor to
Mimir
Queen
is
Zulika
supposed to
of
be
Kovir.
like the fairy from A Midsummer's Night Dream
True.
or something. Is
I
that
had my doubts if the K-Ran
like
was
based
worth
on
the
the
journey, but those
conversations
were
he was having with
dispelled with what
Kratos?
you
That
showed
seemed to be
today.
the
Here to
implication.
hunt down some ingredients.
Triss Merigold.
I believe so, yes, because he did name a couple of folks that do fit into that whole thing. Like he named Oberon.
Yeah.
To throw into the courtyard
Um,
Sabbaths.
and
Absolutely. Virgins are
fuck, I
dying
already
breed.
forget the name of the
Oh
group that
my.
he
Your
ran
sense
with,
of
but they were
humor
the
seems
same
to be
group of
intact.
you know, whatevers.
But enough of these pleasantries.
So
Tell me, Geralt.
between
You
that
seem
and that
tentacle.
is, you
What do you make
know,
of it all?
The beast must be
while
huge.
obviously his
Maybe inhabited
accent
one
is
of the Pontar's
Scottish,
tributaries before, hunting animals. Then it grew
he
for
just
some
talks
reason,
about
and
how
animal
he's
drove it to
from
seek fresh
a
pastures.
faraway
And on the Pontide
island,
found trade
and
barges
he mentions
burgeoning
a
with
number of
beasts
different
slain
things
moving
that are just
merchants.
British.
Partly correct. Cedric
You
claims
know,
that they
rather
had
than being
emerged from the northern
specifically
swamps.
Scottish, they,
An elf.
you know, some
I need to
stuff
look
is
around,
English, some
find out
stuff
a
is
few
Irish,
things.
some stuff is
Hmm.
Welsh.
An
You
investigation.
know, so
Witches'
it
rituals,
seems like
extracting
in
secrets
those
and
games the
such.
same way
More or
that
less.
the Norse
I'll talk to the
mythology
merchants
stuff
about
is
the
not
reward, pay
specifically
Cedric a visit and get back to you.
any
You'll find me at the
specific
inn. I've rented
Scandinavian
lodgings there,
country,
on the upper
but
floor.
You
representative
know
of
the
like the
inn's
whole
also a
concept
whorehouse.
Thanks for the warning.
that they'd probably have a similar thing with the British Isles, where it'd just be the British Isles instead of a specific place or something. But yeah, essentially he's straight out of fucking Shakespeare.
But he was a character in Norse mythology, right?
Yes, Mimir is in Norse mythology very much the same way that he is in the God of War games, which is he's an advisor to kings. He's typically portrayed as just being a talking head. That's
What do
kind
you
of where the
want?
saying comes from.
Ah, if only we had just one. Highways washed out, forests
And
full of bandits, a river beast blocks the port, and tolls
yeah,
that
he
arise.
in the mythology, if I remember correctly, he was
sorceress said
not
the
with
same,
the
but
Aesir.
we've yet to see
He
any
was actually
results.
with the
She's asked me
Vanir.
to work with her.
But
And
as
who's to pay
part
your wage?
of the peace
That's what I'm
deal,
here to
he's actually
discuss.
sent to
The
Odin's
sorceress was
court
to manage alone. You can split that reward
to
if
then
you wish.
become an advisor to Odin. But when he becomes an advisor to Odin, he becomes an advisor to Odin by being a talking head.
A contract like that requires...
You want an advance? I've but a...
I was thinking of the... Now tell me what you...
You're the Witcher, damn it.
Yeah,
I've no
I
knowledge
saw
of
that
these
one. Sandy sent it to me. That
Who
is
could tell me
utterly
more?
fantastic.
That ploughing elf, Cedric, most
That Sean
probably.
McDermott story is never going to run out of memes you can get out of it.
In the village outside the
Yeah,
walls.
it is
Now leave me
truly
be.
a blessing.
What did he say? He said there's a third option. That his hand inched towards his knife.
Remember, team, when we're making our game plan this week, we need to be very secretive. Think about how secretive Jared Fogle had to be when he was assembling that hard drive.
Oh, God. But Subway Jared was a national tragedy. Hold on. Oh, don't laugh at Subway Jared.
But 9/11 was a national tragedy.
Jesus. That can't be true. If that's true, those are some of the most valuable things in existence. Oh, well, that's the meme there. Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay, I get it.
Ooh, Durka. Durka, Durka.
Here's a good one.
I mean, it's very true.
Stop. Don't say it.
Calm down.
Behave yourself, Witcher.
I'd love to see that.
Rick Laredo turned his nose up, eh?
Ha! You'd think he was... What do you want to prove with those...
Well, I didn't know this. Apparently, because I'm reading in the comments, Texans fans are extremely pleased that Will Levis is dead now because of the extraordinary insult of the Titans wearing Oilers jerseys during that game.
Yeah. There was a little bit of a thing.
Ooh.
Wait a minute. Where'd my steel sword? Why do I keep losing my swords? The heck?
It's swords. Yeah, sure. Give me swords.
I always say this, but I'll say it again.
We know, we know. We should commandeer a barge and sail to Vizima.
Nothing left.
It's not that simple. I've missed the old turf. Here, we're our own men. In the capital, who knows what we'd be.
Good day.
Okay. Nothing.
I tell him, I'm taking your pouch. Or your pouch.
Taquitos. 2 for $3. They're so cheap.
Jesus Christ, this fucking AI image.
Come on. How's it living with Roach's soldiers?
Splendid. I know every shit joke that anyone's ever thought up. Plus, I've learned how to burp out the official title of the Emperor of Nilfgaard without reaching for beer. Shorty's told me about his 16 children, all named after Temerian troop divisions, and I know his nickname has nothing to do with his manhood. Nice to know that you care, though.
Glad to see you in a good mood.
I think I actually like them. They're good people. One of them even proposed to me.
Who's the brave man?
Sorry, that's a secret.
And here I thought Roach's boys had an ounce of respect for me.
Pretty sure. Oh my god, look at this apple! Why would I buy any of this? This is all disgusting.
Yes, David says, I'm approaching tomorrow as a swing game. If we win, then I hope we win out. If we lose, then I hope we lose out. It's that simple. You know, I heard that a lot of people feel the exact same way about the first game of the season.
I remember in 2003, the Patriots lost the first game of the year, 31-0, and then proceeded to go 14-2 and win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if Belichick, like, just that first game was like, okay, we're tanking, boys.
It's just like, well, we lost the first game of the season. Time to throw in the towel.
We tried for 60 minutes.
It's more than my wife has tried in 10 years.
Okay, how do I use the inn to, like, sleep? That's what I'm trying to figure out here. Doesn't seem like there's, like, a lobby clerk that you can talk to like in Red Dead or something.
Say something, or did you just fart? What?
Actually, now that I think about it, I don't even know why I would want to stay at this inn. I have full health.
Lads, listen up. What is it now, new boy? Am I always going to be new boy?
No, just...
Okay, let's see here.
And what'll my nick be then?
The Packers' schedule is soft, but the Packers also can lose to anybody. So I don't know what to think of that Packers team.
Interesting.
Man, look at this. This is fucked up. They just leave the executed bodies here to hang from a noose. Look at this. That's morbid.
Hey,
As a warning.
Where might you be going?
What kind of question is that? Anyway, know where I can find an elf named Cedric?
Don't get involved in this.
The merchants are paying good money for killing the beast.
Coin is never the most important thing.
Maybe, but it's still pretty useful.
I don't trust her.
Sheila? Why not?
She's a powerful sorceress. Dangerous to her foes, even more dangerous to her friends.
I know you don't like her. Any specific reason?
I'm just trying to warn you.
Thanks. I guess I'll have to ask her.
How?
We're going hunting together, right after I find Cedric.
Well, then let's go see him. He should be at the top of his observation tower.
Oh god, a fucking AI-generated picture.
Fantastic.
Oh yeah, Donkey did a video for the Avatar game that just came out. It doesn't look super interesting. It looks okay.
Yeah, I watched that video too, and I was like, oh man, that is
It looks like Far Cry, but you're playing as a native. I don't know.
In Belk. It'll be nearly a year.
Yeah, I was like, man, this is definitely a game where if it was possible to, I would skip every possible cutscene. But all the cutscenes are rendered in real time. That there's no actual cutscenes. It's just the character standing there listening to people talk that you
Don't
can't
let
skip.
other Shay poison your memory of her. Hatred is
It's
but an
excruciating.
outlet for helplessness.
Thank you, Cedric. Vafail.
Vafail.
Dude, the Twitter replies on the DAC 911 MVP tweet. People are getting so offended.
Are you Cedric?
That is
Who asks?
fantastic.
Geralt of Rivia.
Ah, the Witcher. And?
Triss Marigold.
Lovely scent, Triss.
Cedric, look at me.
What do you want, Geralt of Rivia?
I aim to kill the Karen. Heard you might be able to help.
That depends on the sort of aid you seek.
I need information.
We should have killed it years ago. Now I don't know. The beast has become too large for the riverbed. And it has
Oh
strange
my
growths on its
god!
tentacles, extremely thick skin. Previously, it inhabited a
Oh,
slope
this
along
is
one of the
fantastic.
Plumtar's
Jameis Winston
tributaries.
shows up to the
Completely wild
game
terrain. Even the
today
Scoia'tael don't
with
venture
a
there.
very
You should
heavy
go see the
briefcase.
wreck of the boat it recently sank.
Holds it
Inspect
up
any traces
to his
it's left.
team
See the
for today's
destruction.
motivational
Where's
speech.
this wreck?
Venture
Says, what is
south
in
into
this
the
case
forest, then
is
turn
what is
east
standing
toward the
between
river.
us and greatness.
You'll find the ruins of a bridge erected
Then he opens
long
it
ago
up.
by
There's
the
nothing
Enshay.
inside.
The wreck lies at their foot.
Thanks, Cedric.
Want you to see your vista, eh?
You'll find me by the
Good
river.
fucking
Jeez,
god.
Triss. Sure you're not overusing those teleports?
The reason there was
Oh,
nothing
Jesus,
inside
Jesus
is because
fucking
there were.
Christ. What the fuck? Sounded like someone just got shot over there. Are you okay?
What happened?
No, I just got audio feedback through the headphones. It sounded like someone just got shot over there. I think it's over now. I don't know what the fuck that was. Go ahead. It's over now.
I don't know either. I thought something happened in the game.
I gotta go change my underwear.
I'm gonna check the stream to see if it picked up on the broadcast or what.
Are you able to rewind a Twitch stream when it's live?
Yeah, I know how to do this.
Okay.
What the fuck? Okay, the sound did get picked up on the stream. It was a really weird little moment.
You'll betray no one else.
Yeah, I don't know how to describe that. I would just say that, like you said, feedback.
Yeah. But anyway, go ahead.
For those who are curious, in order to how to do it, you can actually do this during a stream. What you do is you go through the process of any time you'd want to watch a VOD on the stream. While it's live, what you would do watching the stream is just click on the name of the streamer, which brings you to their profile, and then in the recent broadcast, there should be the one that's going on right now. It'll say however long ago it was that it started, which should have the corresponding amount of time for how long the VOD is. Your stream says it started 2 hours ago, and the VOD length right now is 2 hours, 13 minutes, 57 seconds. You just click on that, and then you go basically to the end of the video until you see, okay, this is around where I'm looking for, and then you just hunt from there to see what you were looking for.
Okay.
That's how you get clipped. Anyway, I have no idea how the hell that happened. But I was going to make a crab legs joke. I was going to say originally the suitcase was supposed to be filled with crab legs, but Jameis had already stolen them.
I actually think that when the Broncos cut Wilson this offseason, they're going to go sign Winston. It's not going to be that expensive, and Winston proved he can play at an elite level under Peyton 2 years ago. I think that would actually work.
That would certainly be a thing. Very, very interesting. For sure. What I'd like to see is for the Broncos not to cut Russell Wilson, but to still bring in
What's
Jameis.
left of that wreck Cedric mentioned.
If the Karen attacked the boat, it's
That'd
not
be
likely
fun.
to be much. We're looking for traces of
Yes,
beast,
because
not
Jameis
boats.
could then start, and Russell Wilson would be getting paid all that money to partake in his favorite pastime, watching another man have all the fun instead.
That's right.
As I was heading home from work, I was going to the gas station to buy my dad a beer. And while I was there, I was wanting to get a Hershey bar with almonds. I ended up not getting it because as I'm looking through the box that they have there, I mean, it's a full box. Literally every single one of these bars was broken. Like you could feel it through the wrapper.
Right.
So I'm trying to find a solid one. After I get through the 30th fucking bar, I'm like, you know what? I give up. You win. I'll just buy the beer and then go home. Like it's not that fucking big of a deal. Like I'm sitting there thinking about it as I'm driving home. I'm all like, does some retarded kid, like, is that their favorite pastime or something? You get out of school and they say, boy, I can't wait to go down to the local fucking AM/PM. Just start cracking every single candy bar I can find.
Maybe. People are dumb as hell.
Jesus, man.
So here's a completely random question that is probably going to be kind of difficult to answer, but how do you find you handle impulse control? How do you find the best way to rein that in? Impulsiveness.
Well, usually I just take the time to think about it. Anytime it's like, boy, I sure would like blank, and I'm like, oh fuck, can I really do that right now? You know, I'm gonna have to go so far out of my way to go do this and spend money that I don't have, and this and that, and blah blah blah. But like, if the stars align and I have energy, it's not an inconvenience, plus I've got plenty of spare cash, that's when I go crazy with something, but that has not happened in a very long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, generally that's how I handle impulse control, is to just sit there and think about it for a minute. Like, can I actually do this? Like, is this something that's gonna bite me in the ass later? 99% of the time, the answer is yes. So I just end up not doing it. To be fair, though, I got that way because, you know, many years ago, I did not think things through to that extent and paid for it. So.
I'm too old for this. Nice to run into some old friends.
Almost brings a tear to your eye.
Let's examine the traces of the Karen and get out of here.
And you would say generally you don't find it too hard to avoid those things? You don't find it terribly hard to avoid the things that you know you shouldn't be dealing with at a particular time?
Yeah, for me it's pretty simple, because in order to just give in like that, I have to not care to a very extreme extent, which generally means that my mental state is in very not in a good place.
Makes sense.
Wait a minute.
What are you going to do?
Cast a simple diagnostic spell. It should answer a few questions.
Nothing beats having a mage girlfriend.
This
I don't
monster
even
is
know
sick,
if Triss is
though.
supposed to be Gerald's
It's
girlfriend,
dying.
but
How
if
much
she
time
is,
does it have
she's probably
left?
not very happy
A few
about how much
years?
banging
Perhaps
he
a
does.
decade and change?
Too long. What's wrong with it? Any information could be useful.
The diagnostic spell showed that some of the cells in its body have mutated.
What makes you think it's dying? I mean, I'm a mutant.
The mucus cells I diagnosed are very similar to cancer cells.
Wow.
In some ways, they're more effective than healthy cells, but they're out of control. They
I would have
converge to
expected
create
Trent
red
Richardson to
tissue.
have done that first.
Very unpleasant.
The poor thing.
But you brought up an interesting point.
It wasn't even a good Texans
Wanna know the
defense.
core difference
Henry
between
averages
mutants
like
and
200 yards a game against the Texans in his career or something crazy.
Of course I do.
The changes
Man.
made through alchemy and magic.
I
in
don't
your
think it
body
gets
would
more
require
washed
thousands
than
of
that.
years to develop on their own. This development would result from genetic errors that would cause your body to adapt. become a more efficient organism, effectively mutate, but over a very long time. When this development occurs over millennia, across multiple generations, we proudly call it natural selection, evolution. When it occurs quickly, in a single organism or a few representatives of a species, we frown on it as mutation.
And here I thought you liked me. What else?
The Kayron's highly venomous.
Any ideas for an antidote?
Your Witcher's metabolism should neutralize small doses of the toxin. But if I were you, I wouldn't rely on my mutations alone. An Ostmark potion should do the trick.
I know the herb, but haven't the faintest where I might find it around here. I need to figure out how I want to fight the Kayron. Maybe I won't need the potion.
Do what you will, but don't say I didn't warn you. Sheila might be eager to get this done, but before you go see her, ask some of the locals about Ostmark. You could try Cedric. Here's the formula for the potion. I need to take care of some things. Manage without me for a while? See you.
Oh, she gets to use the portal and I can't? Super cool. What a douchebag. What a douchebag. I guess Henry basically splits snaps perfectly evenly with Tajay Spears. It's like literally 50-50. My stream that I did earlier while watching the Red Zone channel for football got copyright claimed. I mean, it doesn't affect my channel at all. It doesn't change anything. But I played the fucking "the more she shat, the more she drank" clip.
Fantastic.
And the background music is the Game of Thrones theme. So apparently my video will now be blocked in some territories because of use of the Game of Thrones theme.
That is hilarious.
I'd say I should find somebody who played the Game of Thrones theme on a recorder, but that would get copyright claim too, apparently.
Yeah. Fucking wild.
Cedric, I need some Ostmark. It's a rare variety of moss, grows underground.
I know it. There are some caves to the south, deep in the woods. If Ostmark grows anywhere in the area, it will be there.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, it's pretty depressing that that's what we have to count on, right? In order for our defense to stop somebody, we have to count on the other team not caring or not being motivated or being injured or being wounded. Like, I'm completely dependent on Jalen Hurts being so sick tomorrow that he can't throw the ball more than 3 yards. Like, that's the only way we win.
Death to Marino!
Like, I honestly feel like we would lose to Marcus Mariota because our defense is so garbage. Hurts is a pocket passer right now. Like, his leg doesn't work.
Speaking of Hurts and people being prisoners in the moment, I can't wait until the Eagles, like, they're gonna win this game, and then everyone's gonna talk about how Hurts is the MVP again, even though they've already just fucking, like, they're going in circles.
It's like trying to find a parking space. You just keep circling the parking lot.
Exactly.
That metaphor made sense in my head, I assure you.
Well, no, I get it. It's because while, you know, you're hoping to get that parking space, you're waiting for somebody to pull out.
Mm-hmm. You're waiting for
And
one of the
watching-
ones right near the entrance.
Exactly. And watching all of these games, watching and waiting for somebody to pull out, it really just makes you think about the Russell Wilson experience. That's why he's the dark horse MVP candidate.
Guess they'll never learn.
That was wonderful. What's next?
Oh, God.
Oh, shit. You know, if Hurts doesn't play and Mariota plays, can they still do the tush push? Like, the tush push works because Hurts' lower body strength is so good. Mariota probably doesn't have that.
We just need to get Mariota working on every single practice from now on. He just needs to twerk the entire time.
Come on!
Yikes.
Promise it'll work. I saw this work in the Senate the other day.
undefeated.
Oh, God.
God, there's so many of these fuckers. Love is a long road. Oh, Kiwi Farms is back up? Yeah, I'm sure they're roasting the shit out of DSP for taking this long to play Baldur's Gate. And he mostly just doesn't really seem to like the game that much, but the donations are way up every time he plays it. So he kind of has to keep playing it.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, he's admitted he's never played a D&D game before. He doesn't really know what he's doing, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But, like, he was, like, angry because he's like, oh, this part of the game doesn't make sense because it doesn't tell you that you're supposed to, you know, use fire to light oil. But it's like, yeah, it's oil and you have a fire spell.
Right.
Like,
I
I
mean,
know, you know.
Literally the first thing I did in the game ever to see how good the graphical system looked, the first thing I did was do a quick start as Gale because he was the wizard character in the quick start. And then the moment I get control of him as the character, I cast grease on the floor, and then I threw a fireball at it to make a huge explosion.
Mm-hmm.
Which worked like a charm and was a huge, humongous explosion, and I loved it. I was like, excellent, this is exactly what I wanted out of this game.
Okay, I need to chill for a minute to let my health build back up, I think. I need to just sit here for a few minutes. But, like, if he's struggling with that stuff, what chance does he have of actually getting through the whole game without the chat holding his hand?
Yeah.
Come on!
Right, got his ass. Got his ass. Ooh. Do you know if The Witcher 2 has like has fast travel? By any chance?
I cannot remember.
I don't think it does. What Patrick Mahomes should have done in his post-game press conference last week, he should have spun it to be like, I can't believe we just let a coach who used 9/11 as a motivational tactic win. Like, he was so mad because the coach that he just got beat by used 9/11 like that. That would have worked.
That might have worked, yeah. Like, that really would have been something.
That would have been hilarious. Wonder where... Yeah, oh yeah, the Wolverine game. Is that supposed to come out this year? I was making a list of games I was interested in that come out in 2024, and I found very little. Well, I did not list Wolverine, though.
I think it comes out this year. I'm not 100%.
How many more can there be?
Alright, then that's not bad then. I'll at least be open to the possibility of it being good. You never know. Alright guys, that's going to do it for tonight. I'll see you guys in the morning videos coming out. See you guys.